number of oscillations per second. Heart pumps the blood to the different body organs.
Both statements aren't true, it is always true.
Hi my dear Tswreis. Tswreis, I have chosen a topic from the subject Social Studies. Okay friends, what is this? Yes, it is a line. Friends, is it vertical line or horizontal line? Yes, this is a vertical line. And friends, how is this line? Yes, this is a horizontal line. Okay friends, here I have joined two vertical lines and two horizontal lines. What is formed here? Here the grid is formed. The area which is formed by joining two vertical lines and two horizontal lines is called a grid. Friends, can you give any examples for grids? Yes, here on this graph paper between these vertical lines and horizontal lines the grids are formed. And for example, friends, this is also another example for grids. Okay friends, now look at the wall map. Friends, on this map are you able to see any lines on this map? Yes, here the lines are vertical and horizontal lines. So friends, between these vertical lines and horizontal lines the grids are formed. Okay friends, now look at the globe. Similarly, like on the map, on the globe also we are able to see the vertical lines and horizontal lines. Okay friends, between these vertical lines and horizontal lines the grids are formed. Friends, today we are going to discuss about our Earth's grid system. Friends, now let me show this Earth grid system in a PowerPoint presentation. Friends, this is the picture of the Earth. And friends, the definition of the Earth grid system is, on a globe a network of latitudes and longitudes are drawn. This is called the grid. And friends, on this globe these two sets of crisscross lines in such a way that they make a virtual network on the face of the globe. And here these two sets of crisscross lines are called grids. Okay friends, today we are going to discuss about our Earth's grid system. In that, let us know clearly about latitudes. Friends, here on this globe there are the vertical lines and horizontal lines. The vertical lines which are running from north-south directions are latitudes. The vertical lines which are running from north-south directions are latitudes. And friends, the horizontal circles which are running from east-west directions are latitudes. Friends, look at the map. Here, these are the longitudes, the vertical lines, and the horizontal lines are latitudes. So friends, now let us know clearly about latitudes. Friends, latitude is a word derived to us from the Latin language latitudo. Friends, the meaning of latitude is width. With the help of these latitudes, we can know the width of the map and width of a globe. And friends, these latitudes are drawn between the two poles. Here these are, friends, all of you look here. These are the latitudes. These latitudes are the horizontal circles which are surrounded the earth. And here these latitudes are drawn in east-west direction between the North Pole and South Pole. Friends, do you know the directions? How many directions are there? Yes, there are 4 directions. East, west, north and south. These are the directions. Okay friends, these latitudes are drawn between the North Pole and South Pole. Latitudes are the horizontal circles drawn between the North Pole and South Pole. Friends, do you know what are the poles? Yes, here the two ends of the axis. Friends, all of you look at the globe. Here the two ends of the axis on which our earth rotates is called poles. And friends, here these latitudes are drawn between North Pole and South Pole. And here these latitudes are expressed in degrees, minutes and seconds. But friends, we will not find these minutes and seconds in many of maps and atlases. And friends, these latitudes, here this is the earth, shape of the earth. And here the horizontal circle which goes exactly in the middle of the earth at equal distance from North Pole to South Pole, it is called as equator. Friends, do you know why this is called as equator? Why? Because this equator divides the earth into two equal parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Friends, here hemi means half and sphere means a ball shaped. The part which is between 0 degree equator to 90 degree North Pole is called northern hemisphere, and the area which is between 0 degree equator to 90 degree South Pole is called southern hemisphere. And friends, here now let us see these northern and southern hemispheres on a PowerPoint presentation. Friends, these are the latitudes and longitudes, and here the horizontal circle, we have discussed that the horizontal circle which goes exactly in the middle of the earth, this is called 0 degree equator. And friends, now let us see these are the latitude. Let us see on the ball. Here this is the 0 degree equator, and this equator divides the earth into two equal parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So here in the latitudes which are in northern hemisphere should be designated with the direction N, and the latitudes which are in northern hemisphere should be designated with the direction S. And friends, this is the northern hemisphere and this is the southern hemisphere. In this northern hemisphere, the value range of latitude is from 0 degree equator to 90 degrees North Pole and South Pole. 0 degree equator to 90 degrees North Pole and 90 degrees South Pole. And friends, here these latitudes are numbered from 1 to 90 latitudes. Here in the northern hemisphere, the latitudes are like this, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, like that up to 90 to North Pole in northern hemisphere, and 0 degrees equator to 90 degrees South Pole. In the southern hemisphere also, the latitudes are numbered from 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, like that up to 90 degrees South Pole. And friends, do you know the distance between one latitude and the next is approximately 69 miles. That means 111 kilometers apart. The distance between one latitude and the next is 69 miles. And friends, there is a variation due to a fact that our earth is not a perfect sphere. It is an oblate ellipsoid, that means slightly egg-shaped. And friends, here these latitudes, every series of parallel circle is called a latitude, and here these latitudes are called as a parallel circles. The distance between one latitude and the next is equal to each other. And friends, in the northern hemisphere totally there are 90 latitudes, and in southern hemisphere there are 90 latitudes. Friends, 90 plus 90, 180. 180 plus 1, including the 0 degree latitude equator. Friends, this 0 degree latitude equator is the longest latitude among all these latitudes, and this 0 degree latitude sometimes it is also called as a great circle. And friends, here totally there are 181 latitudes, and among all these latitudes some of the latitudes have some special names. Friends, now let us know the special names of the latitudes. Friends, all of you look on this sheet. Here these are the special names of the latitudes. Friends, all of you see here, this is the latitude which goes exactly in the middle of the earth at equal distance from North Pole and South Pole. This is called as 0 degree latitude equator, and it divides the earth into two equal halves, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. First let us know the special names in northern hemisphere. Okay friends, here this is 23½ degrees northern latitude, which is named as Tropic of Cancer. And friends, another latitude is 66½ degrees northern latitude, which is named as Arctic Circle. And friends, here it is, we know that here it is 90 degrees North Pole. And friends, let us come to the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, this is the 23½ degrees southern latitude, which is named as Tropic of Capricorn. And another latitude is 66½ degrees southern latitude, which is named as Antarctic Circle. And friends, finally here it is 90 degrees South Pole. Friends, these are the special names of the latitudes. And friends, now let us know these special names in a funny way by indicating the body parts of a human being. Friends, here my head can be indicated as 90 degrees North Pole, and here my ears are 66½ degrees northern latitude, which is named as Arctic Circle. And friends, here my shoulders can be indicated as 23½ degrees northern latitude, which is named as Tropic of Cancer. And friends, here my waist can be indicated as 0 degree latitude equator. And friends, here my knees can be indicated as 23½ degrees southern latitude, 23½ degrees southern latitude, which is named as Tropic of Capricorn. And here my shins can be indicated as 66½ degrees southern latitude, which is named as Antarctic Circle. And friends, finally here my toes can be indicated as 90 degrees South Pole. Friends, this is the funny way to remember the special names of the latitudes without any confusion. And friends, now we have learnt about latitudes. Let us know clearly about longitudes. Longitudes. Friends, longitude is a word derived to us from the Latin language longitudo. Here, longitudo means length or height. Friends, with the help of these longitudes, we can know the length or height of a map or a globe. And friends, before we have discussed it that the latitudes are the full circles, but here the longitudes are not full circles, they are just semicircles which are connecting from one pole to another pole. Friends, all of you look here. Here, these are the longitudes. These longitudes are not the full circles, they are semicircles which are connecting from one pole to another pole. And here these all longitudes converge at north pole and south pole. And friends, how there is a 0 degree latitude, starting latitude, equator, like that similarly on these longitudes also there is a starting longitude, 0 degree longitude. Friends, here it is 0 degree longitude. Friends, all of you look at the map. Here this is the 0 degree longitude which passes through the London at England. Friends, this is the 0 degree longitude. And friends, this 0 degree longitude is also called as 0 degree meridian, prime meridian, and Greenwich meridian. Friends, here this Greenwich meridian passes through the astronomical observatory at London at England. And friends, do you know why this 0 degree longitude is called as Greenwich meridian? Why? Because here there is an astronomical observatory, and at that time England ruled a large part of the world, and at that time all the remaining countries are also accepted for this. And here this 0 degree Greenwich meridian is designated as a 0 degree longitude. And friends, at the time so many countries are tried to fix this 0 degree meridian on their longitude which passes through their own territories. But at the time only England has a superpower, and it is designated as a 0 degree longitude. And friends, this 0 degree here these longitudes are also called as meridians. Friends, here meridians came to us from the Latin word meridianus. Meridianus meaning noon. Here these longitudes which are vertical lines are also called as meridians. And friends, look at all of you, look here. Here this is a 0 degree longitude equator, and for this 0 degree longitude this is the opposite longitude for 0 degree longitude equator. It is called as anti-meridian. Here anti means opposite to, and here for this 0 degree longitude this is directly opposite longitude. And here this 180 degree longitude and 180 degree longitude is called as international dateline. And friends, here this 0 degree longitude divides the earth into two equal halves. Now let us see this in PowerPoint presentation. Friends, here the lines that run west to east that measure distance north and south of the equator. Friends, here these are the parallels of latitudes, and here between these, before we have discussed it that between these latitudes and longitudes the grids are formed, and here these are the degrees of the latitudes. And how before equator is divided the earth into two equal parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, like that similarly here 0 degree longitude is also, here this 0 degree longitude divides the earth into two equal hemispheres, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Here all of you see here, this is the 0 degree longitude, this divides the earth into two equal halves, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Here all these eastern longitudes form eastern hemisphere and western longitudes form western hemisphere. And friends, the longitudes which are in eastern hemisphere should be designated with the direction E, and the longitudes which are in western hemisphere should be designated with the direction W. But friends, for this 0 degree longitude and 180 degree longitude, they are not followed by any designation, neither E and nor W. And friends, in this eastern hemisphere, totally there are 180 longitudes and 180 longitudes in western hemisphere. Totally there are 360 longitudes are there on the earth. And friends, here now we have seen all these latitudes and longitudes on the map and on a globe. Friends, can we find these latitudes and longitudes really on the earth? No. Why? Because these latitudes and longitudes are just imaginary lines which is drawn by our geologists. Friends, now we have learnt about the latitudes and longitudes. Now let us know about the uses of latitudes and longitudes. The uses of latitudes and longitudes. Friends, the uses of the longitudes. First one is to know the location of a place. To know the location of a place. And second one is to know the weather conditions. And third one is to know the directions. And fourth one is to know the time. Here these are the uses of the latitudes. Here the first one is to know the location of a places. Friends, with the help of latitudes and longitudes, we can know the location of a map or a globe with exactly on a map or on a globe. And friends, these with here, for example, if we take India, India is located between 8 degrees and 6 seconds and 37 north and 37 degrees 6 minutes north and 68 degrees 7 minutes east and 98 degrees 25 minutes east. Friends, now with the help of these latitudes and longitudes, we can know the exact location of a place. For example, here India is located between 8 degrees and 6 minutes north and here 37 degrees 6 minutes north, and here the distance between the north and east ends of the India is Friends, the distance between north and east ends of India is, here the difference is 8 degrees and 37 degrees. So, 37 degrees minus 8 degrees is equal 29 degrees. Okay friends, here we have discussed that the distance between one latitude and the next is approximately 111 kilometers. So, here 29 into 111 kilometers is equal 3,219 kilometers. Friends, now we have found out the distance between the north and south ends of the India. And here totally the distance between the north and south ends of India is 3,219 kilometers. And friends, like this we can know the location of a place exactly on a map or on a globe. And friends, let us see another example. This is the Greenwich meridian which passes through the astronomical observatory, and here this is the prime meridian 0 degrees east and west longitude. These are the north pole and south pole and Greenwich meridian. Prime meridian divides the earth into two equal parts, eastern and western hemispheres. Here the part which lies east to the prime meridian is the eastern hemisphere, and the part which lies west to the prime meridian is called western hemisphere. These are the countries in the western hemisphere, that is North America and South America. In the eastern hemisphere the countries are, here it is Africa and Eurasia, Australia and half of the Antarctica. Friends, now we are in the uses of latitudes and longitudes here to locate places. So we have an example to locate the exact places on a map or on a globe. So friends, on this globe or on a map we can locate a single point with the help of these latitudes and longitudes. We can locate a single point on the map or on a globe. And friends, here is an example. Friends, I will give an example to locate the exact places on a map or in a globe. For example, when the war is going on between the two countries, whether it is X and Y countries, here and the Y country people want to blow up the ammunition factory of the X country people. So by using the minutes and seconds of latitudes and longitudes, the X country people can collapse the building of the Y country people by launching a missile from 1,000 and 100 miles away, and they can strike only that particular building without making any harm to the nearby the places. For example, there is a building and there is nearby the building there is a hospital. So the X country people no need to make any harm to this hospital. So with the help of these with the help of minutes and seconds of longitudes, the X country people can strike only that particular building without making any harm to this hospital. Friends, this is the example. Here see, here is they are launching a missile to that particular place. Using here, this example would be in the military. And friends, now we have discussed about the uses. First one is to know the location of the places, and another use is to know the weather conditions. Here our world is divided into climatic zones with the help of the latitudes. Here latitude location affects temperature, and here it is 0 degree latitude equator. Here the area which is between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is called as torrid zone, and here their temperature is more than these remaining zones. And friends, the area which is between 23.5 degrees north and 66.5 degrees north, it is called as temperate zone. In the southern hemisphere